Good morning. So if you're watching this video, I assume that you want to feel a lot more balance in your life with your career, relationships, your personal alone time, and your health and fitness and all your other hobbies in between. And this video is exactly that. I am a 21-year-old owning 2 businesses, and I still make time for the gym. I'm about to go there now actually, and I still make time for all my friends. I make a lot of time for my alone time, and everything is, for lack of better words, thriving. Everything can always be better, but that's why we work day in, day out to do that. But we do that with balance, or at least our own version of balance. And that's the first thing, is realizing that you actually get to decide what balance is, because some circumstances just won't allow you to have literally evenly split attention to each aspect of your life, especially if you have kids or even if you have a partner. It's going to impact you. And even just me being single and living alone, I'm choosing to not have balance equally across everything, because if I really want something to grow, it's going to take a little bit more attention than other things. So instead of giving my hobbies all of my attention, or even just equal to everything else, I'm taking a little bit from that and I'm putting a little bit more into my career, or sometimes a little bit more into my health and fitness. It really depends on what I really want to grow, and right now a lot of that is my business and then my also personal health. First things first, choose what you want balance to actually look like for you, or choose what you actually need to prioritize in order to live the life that you want. What do you want to grow the most right now? And if you can't think of just one thing or 2 things of it all, if you really just want to grow in every aspect, grow in the personal one maybe. That's going to be helping you grow in every other aspect as well. Okay, it is 5:07 a.m. now. I'm going to leave in 3 minutes to go to the gym and train with a friend, and I'll try to get them to film a bit of my session as well, because look, my sessions, it might go a little bit longer today because I'm training with a friend and it's kind of socializing time / gym time, but typically I do like to keep my sessions around 45 minutes. Sometimes it goes up to the hour, especially if it's legs and core, and if I'm just filming and exhausted that day. But typically I keep it around the 45 minutes because I can still get a good workout in that time. And then I also don't feel like I'm eating into my day where I want to prioritize with other things. Okay, we're back in the kitchen and it is about 7 a.m. I've got to leave pretty shortly anyway. I've got about 35 minutes to cook and eat my breakfast, and then I'm going to go meet my friend Angel at a cafe and we're going to work together, which is another just good thing to kind of mix, just like I did this morning where I trained with a friend, mixing socializing, spending time with friends, and health and fitness, and it was a very good session. Sometimes it's hit or miss when you train with someone, because like you can get distracted, but it's actually good, and like you can be pushed as well, which is nice. So we hit some juicy shoulders and arms, good. And then yeah, as well with like working with a friend, especially when they're in the same industry with you, or even not, like just when they have their own business, they get it, and they know that sometimes like you'll be able to talk at the same time as working, like in between, or sometimes you just need silence and to just, focus. And also you just get to like catch up with a friend and work at the same time and just, be there at the same time as each other, which like you don't always have to be communicating, but just being there is nice. So I'm actually going to make my breakfast now, which I haven't had this before, but I've tracked it and it looks good. Looks like it'll taste good. Croissants, just from Woolies, and then ham and cheese, and then I'll have some fruit on the side of that, plus my supplements. So I'll show you my supplements. So I just have this like multivitamin, mostly for the iron in it. It's just like a gummy, so I have 2 of those a day. I have some multi-gest enzymes, like digestive enzymes, and then I have bone broth, but I probably won't have my bone broth now because I also have my greens to have this morning too, so I don't have enough time to really drink 2 drinks and eat. So I'll take my supplements and then I'll just have my bone broth when I come back home later to keep working. So yeah, but we're gonna make my breakfast. We need lots of ham in there for the protein. Looks good to me. Of the MyFitnessPal of this meal up on the screen. I always usually just journal while I'm having breakfast, unless I feel inspired to do it at a different time as well as, but typically, or like, I mean, I don't always do it at breakfast. If I don't feel like I need it, or if I need like a different type of mindfulness, maybe I'll need meditation, so then I don't do it at the same time as I'm eating. But yeah, I journal, and I use tarot cards occasionally, and I might have spoken about this in my last vlog, where it just kind of inspires me to think about a different thing from a different lens. Like maybe it'll give you a card about family, and so then you think about family in a different way than you typically already do. It's just a prompt essentially in my eyes. It's not like dictating my day or my future. That's just not how I integrate it, or at least not right now. But yeah, I always use the book as well to help like guide me in a direction with it. Even if it's not journaling, mindfulness is such an important part of just my life in general, but especially my morning, because I want to have an intentional life, so I have to have an intentional day. And sometimes like you're not in the mood, but you got to get yourself in the mood intentionally, like consciously choose to be in a better mood. And even if you don't get in a better mood, maybe just at least set the intention, and even if you're in a bad mood, you still go and do the things that are best for you, and then eventually you'll become in a better mood because you're honouring yourself. Oh no! To have balance with everything, you need to have a regulated mind, and not all the time. Like, you're allowed to be dysregulated with excitement or sadness. Like, I'm not saying you can't be human, but it's like taking care of your mental wellness is what's going to take care of every other aspect of your life in turn. So make sure you're taking care of that. Okay, so it's currently 2:05 p.m. I've pretty much finished actually all of my to-dos for the day, like my to-do list tasks. I just have a couple of clients to respond to over message, and I respond up until 4 p.m. Unless obviously like there's an emergency. So I'll still be replying to messages until then, until like I clock off. And then my phone actually goes off at 7. But all I have to do today for the rest of the day, I do have to edit one reel that I just filmed, and obviously like upload that or schedule it for tonight. So that's all I have to do work-wise for the rest of the day. I've been really productive today, which is nice. Like, I've actually stayed focused and like been able to zone in. While I was at the cafe with Angel, I actually got a lot of work done there too. Even though like we're able to talk in between and stay social, like at the same time I was able to do my work, which was cool, especially when it's like not stuff where you have to focus on writing a specific thing, and then whenever you do, you just don't talk for that period of time. I feel like I just have a really good balance in my life, mostly because of the people in my life. Yes, like myself, it's up to me in the end of the day. That's my responsibility to also then find these people. But that's probably my biggest advice, is to find people that you could go and do these things with, where you can go to the gym together, you can do work stints together, you can just have the conversations that you want to be having that also encourage you to do the things that you love, whether it is work or whether it is your hobbies or your fitness, whatever it is. Have the people in your life that are like along the same track as you, at least mentally. So for the rest of my day today, I've got, of course, got to finish off that little bit of work, but I'm just gonna chill out. So I did my steps on the treadmill and edited that video. It took about half an hour, and I got a couple of thousand steps in, which is great. I think I might be done now. almost. I've got 144 steps left to do, and then I'm done for the day. I do 10k steps a day, and I just went grocery shopping, so that's how I got my last like 1,500 or so, if that. So I'll do a little haul for you, but just keep in mind this isn't my full grocery haul. I don't just eat this food throughout the week. It's not nearly enough. I'll just show you what I got today, because I usually just, I don't know, I always have at least something in the fridge, and then I just do like 2 grocery shops a week, like 2 half or one big grocery shop, and then 1 like top up, or maybe 2 little top ups. But anyway, so I've decided I'm going to try this gluten-free bread. It's a little bit more expensive, but this one was on clearance for some reason, so I got it while it was cheap. Bananas, ice cream, almond milk, chicken breast, extra lean beef stir fried, spotlight potato, onion, capsicum, jasmine rice, a yogo, and wholemeal wraps, and peri peri salt seasoning stuff. And then I'll dice it in this. If you want a balanced life and you want to spend less time on your cooking in general, but like cutting up vegetables, get one of those little dices from, I think just from Kmart, and you can probably get it from like other places too, like Daiso, or more expensive ones from actual kitchen stores, but this one's cheap and it works. Just don't smash it down too hard. The last one we broke because like really slammed on it, but just be careful. Cut it up in bits about that size, like an apple that you would eat, and then pop it in and it will smash it. Just pop one in there. Easy.
Different human designs and things like that, and whilst those all can warrant a decision, I don't believe that we need to process every decision.
So, as I am in the pool enjoying my little afternoon, it is like 4 or 5 p.m. Just having a little swim because it's like 32 degrees, but it's like a hot 32 degrees, so it's actually nice in the pool. It rarely ever is. It's like mostly always just freezing regardless, but I'm going to enjoy it while I can. I'm going to have an ice cream as well. I brought that down, so I've got to eat that before it melts. And I wanted to talk about balance across 2 things, of course. Ice cream and also just enjoying the pool. So as a business owner, and as maybe just someone in general, I feel like I've heard these kind of excuses from a lot of people that don't just own their own businesses, but in general work for other people, where they've got all these other hours in the day, but then they use all that time, of course, to do all your other adult things, and at the end of the day, they make an excuse that they don't have time to do these fun things, go to the beach, go to the pool, go on walks, whatever it is. And yes, I understand it's harder for different people, especially when kids and other people are involved, but I'm speaking to the people that actually do have time, but they don't want to allocate it to this. They want to allocate that time to other things, and that's okay, but just know that you're choosing what you prioritize. And so just a piece of advice for if you want to go to the beach more but you feel like you don't have time, you want to go to the pool more but you don't have time, you want to have like that girl of the life, like this hot girl summer, but you feel like you don't have time to do that, and you feel like, oh, maybe in the future but not right now. Well, I would like you to write down like your dream life, write down all of the things that would make you feel balanced in life. Like, what does balance actually look like to you? Does it mean going to the beach once a week? Does it mean going in the pool once a week? Whatever it is, write it down for you. It doesn't have to be anything that's been in this video, just what does it actually look like for you? And then find any reason, any way, any possible way that you can integrate at least a percentage of that into your life right now. I guarantee you there's at least something that you can do right now to do that. Even if you can't get to a beach to go for a long walk, do a long walk near home, and then maybe do a short walk at the beach every week. Just make time for these things, even if it means waking up earlier, going to watch the sunrise, and if that means going to sleep earlier, so be it. Do that, because that's ultimately going to be the life that's going to push you in the direction that you want to be going in, to live the life that you ultimately want to live. And it's going to feel discomfortable, uncomfortable at first, of course, because it's not the life that you're currently living day to day. So there's going to be a level of discomfort, but ultimately it's going to be that discomfort that feels like you're going in the right direction, like you feel like you're expanding and growing, which is great. There's someone on the balcony. I'm going to probably blur their face out. And then in regard to the ice cream and balance in regard to food, I'm tracking my calories at the moment. And even if I wasn't, I'm still allowed to have an ice cream without knowing how many calories I'm having in a day. And it's that realization alone that you need to have in order to be able to have an ice cream guilt-free. And that's what I do with my work. I'm having throwing a masterclass, releasing a masterclass in 2 weeks, about a week and a half from when this video goes live. So if you want to get in on that, it's still going to be $17 before the price increases, and they will get released on the 14th of December. So obviously it depends on when you're watching this, but it's still not going to be increased very high, so it's still relatively cheap. And that's where I'm going to teach people the people that are in, how to heal their relationship with food, heal their relationship with themselves, because that's ultimately what it's stemming from. Because it's not the food's problem, it's not a problem with the food, it's your perception of the food and what you're scared it's going to do to your body, and what that's going to mean about you, what you're scared it's going to mean about you. And that's what we're going to work on, healing and diminishing all these limiting and fearful thoughts about. And guilt, more than anything, that's probably the most common one. And then all the body image things, we're going to be integrating a lot of that too. So in regard to my ice cream, if you want to have a balanced diet, you can track your food if you want, or just, focus on healing your relationship with food overall, because even if you're tracking it, there's still going to be that mindset thing in the way. So work on that. Or, if you're tracking and you feel like you've got a good mindset around food, just, track some ice cream, track some chocolate. Like, you're allowed to do that. It doesn't have to be that deep. But at the same time, it usually is a little bit deeper than that. I'm going to go enjoy my little swim, and I'll talk to you soon.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Morning. It is currently Sunday the 3rd of December at 8:18 a.m. I just gotten ready. I'm just wearing activewear, and Jaden, my friend, is going to come pick me up in about 45 minutes or so. Just going to go to the beach, go for a walk and have some coffee and catch up. I think I really need it, and I won't get into everything, but the past day or so, there's been something happen in my personal life that has shaken me a bit, and I think I've been struggling to not feel my emotions. I feel it, but I've been struggling to express it, let it out. I feel like it's just stays inside me, so I have tried talking things out, and honestly I just want to cry, and I'm starting to right now, which is fantastic. And I don't want this to come across trying to get pity or anything, but that's up to the interpretation of each viewer. Yeah, so I just feel like emotions can be so taboo, but you're allowed to just feel sad sometimes. Life happens, and I never want to come onto YouTube or Instagram or whatever and say that my life is perfect, because it's not. It is fucking amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. But there's still going to be little hiccups and challenges along the way, but that's what makes life good. And I think that perspective alone is what makes it probably seem like at times my life is so perfect or amazing, if it does at all come across that way, because of my mindset around when things do go wrong or when things are sad. I know that sadness is just an emotion, just like happiness, that is temporary, so I let it happen. But at the same time, I have been struggling with actually letting those emotions come out. Even happiness, I sometimes struggle, especially lately, and I'm not entirely sure what that comes down to. I'm still like navigating that, but I've been really focusing on, especially like this time with this thing that's come up that's shaken me, just trying to actually like let myself feel and not move on and still like get on with my life. Like I'm still gonna go do the things that make me feel good. Like I went and saw my sister yesterday and we went in the pool and everything, and yeah, I've like still tried to enjoy my time, but at the same time I actually want to sit there with myself and think like about the sad thing and like let myself feel sad about it, and not like throw a pity party, but just, you know, just actually dissect my thoughts and my emotions, understand where they're coming from as well, because a lot of the time our emotions, they're not necessarily rational, and it's not like we have to fixate on every little detail and rationalize everything. But at the same time, I don't want to be sad forever, so I'm going to attack it in a way where like I let myself feel, but then I actually sit down and talk to myself. Like I sat down and talked to myself in the mirror, and I thought, well, I said out loud because I live alone and no one can hear me anyway. So I say like, what are you actually sad about in this? Because it's not this. Maybe it's this, but you're sad about it from an ego thing, not from actually being sad about that thing. And so it's really interesting when we get to dissect it that way, where like I'm honestly not sad about the thing, I'm sad about what it might mean about me, and that's irrelevant. Like it doesn't actually matter. I think I'm like scared for my ego. My ego is scared rather. So it's just really cool where we can kind of disconnect ourselves from the situation and disconnect the emotion. So there's us, there's the emotion, there's the situation, and just like kind of play with it and see what's actually going on. And just talking about it out loud feels so much better. And yeah, that's probably a downside of living alone, is that you can't talk things out with someone right then and there, but at the same time you can do phone calls, which aren't optimal. I prefer like face-to-face talking, but I just talk to myself if I need to. So I know this vlog was about balance, but also I suppose this comes into it because it's not just about what, like the things that you are physically doing, like your work, your career, like your work and your life balance. Like you also have to balance your human emotions. So I suppose at the end of the day it still applies, it still makes sense. And yeah, I just want to normalize balancing everything in life, and knowing that especially when it comes to human emotions, you can't like predict those. Like you can typically predict your workload and seeing your friends, and you can schedule those things in, but you can't schedule in things like this. And it's important to learn how to navigate them when they come up, when they're not scheduled in. I'm going to end this vlog off, and I've got to edit it and upload it today, so hopefully that doesn't take me too long, and hopefully I should be able to get it up. Like I've only got this video plus a little bit of work to do today with clients, and then yeah, this walk with a friend, and I might go bouldering. Maybe go to the pool or something. I don't know, just chill out, do what I need to do, feel the emotions, make myself feel better. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you got some helpful things from this. If anything, just shed some light on some perspectives. Yeah, I hope you have an amazing time of your life after watching this. Integrate all the balance that you want, and I will see you in the next vlog.